part 3 of making the final 2 carriages for the side corridor passenger rake, Great Western Railway, 1890s to 1900, and I got as far as bringing this is D12, the brake third, and I've got as far as bringing it into the we'll bring up the rest of the bits and pieces I've lifted from a previous carriage. And I've got all these yellow doors here, which is just the remnants of the doors from the previous model, and they're grouped in with their windows and door handles and the inner faces. You can see there's this one is the one that I'll be working on, and what I do is I use that one there and get it right, and then clone it along for the rest. Okay, so that's got rid of those. Also the underframe I've got to adjust that back to because it's 56 feet to the end of the carriages, but of course there's the curved piece in coming at the end, which will pull the underframe back a bit. So let's have a look at this. This is where I'm going to be working on the door here to get it right. So let's make sure we've got the, and essentially it's just a case of adjusting the texture until it is correctly positioned. It's correctly on the door. So this is the face plus these down here. Remember, the door is curved. Oops. Have a look at the wireframe, see if I can pick them up correctly. So we want that one, that one, that one, that one, and the door itself. What have we got up there? Huh. Very strange. No, that's correct, I think. Yes. Okay, so now let's have a look in. I've got texture correction on, smooth and highlight. So that's how it looks at the moment, and it's using the side texture and looking at the door. I think actually it's still a bit too, taking up a bit too much of the vertical texture, maybe not enough. What I want to do is to make sure that I've got sort of almost counterintuitive. Still, it's too much there, I think. It's not. It's just a case of getting the right proportions. I've got to be wrong, aren't I? It's got to go up to get there. That means that's not too clever. I think it needs to be slightly smaller, and then come down a little bit more. Enlarge this so as to get a better look at it. And also here, let's come right in, and once I've got it set, then I can just go with that one way. And I think I just want to take this down a fraction. Okay, I'm just going to try and tweak this a little bit. Sometimes it distorts it. I want to try and avoid that if I can. worth spending the time getting this just right. Too much. I think that's the closest I'm going to get it. Let's have a look in here. Zoom in. And make sure we've got texture correction. Yeah. Okay, so we can live with that, and now let's just move the class down a bit. Okay there, and that just needs to get the frames texture. Right, now actually move down very slightly, it's a bit high. Take it down. And this is a break third, so we can leave third on there. And now I just need to pick up the different elements. Glass, and then zoom round and pick up the back. Don't like that. Something not right there. Zoom in. That and hide all the rest. Yes, there it is. That's not right. So this is the teak interior, and just make sure that that is the that's the frame. The main part. So here I need to adjust these vertices. This is clearly from a pre-production series of doors and such like. That can be, it still needs to come up a bit. And then bring these across into position. And this then will give us the door. And I want to group that up. So let's just have a quick look. Here it is. And it looks okay. So now I'm just going to hide this group. And that should leave me the door. So if I select everything that's there and group that and then unhide everything else, it gives me the door. And what I can then do is, well, I think what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to hide all the unselected. I'm going to ungroup that. I'm going to make sure everything's centered, and also what I'm going to do is to reset the X form to make sure everything is correctly aligned. And then I'm going to go into each element and collapse it down, and the glass and the hand, which is in there somewhere. Can't see it. Yeah, it's definitely there. Yeah, I can just about see it there. There it is. Collapse it down. It was a box, so that's good. I'm saving a few follies there. This shows how early this particular model is, this particular bit. and collapse there. Okay, now I'm going to select everything and group it up. Where are we? Group. Okay, and unhide everything, and that now gives me the door, and I'm then going to use that door all the way along the side here. But first of all, I want to take a clone copy, go in that direction. Okay, I'll just leave it there for the moment. Let's go up here and spin it round 180 degrees, there, and just select that side, hide unselected, and move the door into position here. I'm not worried about the lateral position at the moment. Let's just get it into place. And I can wireframe here and move it like that. Okay, so I might as well work on this one first and just bring, there's my door. First of all there, what I'm going to do is ungroup it and make sure they're all aligned to the world, and group it up again. Okay, so here we go. We can just select our door, just take it along, climb it up. I cloned it again. Doesn't matter. Pick up that one. Oops, that's the wrong one. Where are we? That's what we want. Move it along, and again, I tend to do these fairly quickly and then go in and just tidy them up a bit. Okay, so let's just jump in there and have a look. So there's some way out on this door. This one. Okay, and so just positioning the doors into their correct places. Not far out, probably. Let's get right. Okay, let's have a look down here. Okay, so things that are wrong. This texture here and showing third obviously is wrong on the handles. This needs to be, the handle needs to stay there. That needs to become, let's make sure we've got texture correction on. That's a bit odd. So I've got all these doors correct. What it must be is that the overall texture on this side, on the main side, isn't quite the same. So I'll ungroup that and pick up this and select the face. Now I've got to go back in because the other side, the doors line up on the other side and they don't quite line up on this side, I've got to change the way in which this texture is fitted onto the mesh in order to ensure they're both the same on each side. So I've got to do that business of picking up the specific faces again, and you need to pick them all up. You can't cheat on this and just get away with just, as it were, the main bit. It's essential that you pick them all up. Actually, I can probably do that a bit quicker if I'm just doing this. So what I'll do is I'll click on those. As long as I don't pick up that, I'm going to be okay. Let's have a go. Pick up that. And pick up that, right. Zoom in a bit. Don't have to see the whole thing. Just zoom in there. And let's have a look here. Zoom highlights and come in a bit there. And then I'm just going to move this in the vertical. Down a fraction. Yeah, you can see it's jumping into place there. Tab more. Maybe a bit much. Let's check that out. So I think that does the trick. Good, okay. So now I need to go into here, pick up, that's the front and back of the sides, and group those together. Right, now that's those. So those are obviously wrong there. Whoops, those are obviously wrong there. So what I need to do is I need to change that. Let's just ungroup that. And I need to change that to, let's have a look, see if we've got it loaded here. It needs to say guard. So I need to bring in the guard lettering, which I have. Guard lettering TGA, that's the one. And what I'm going to do is put that into there to replace the third. And this one, that's correct. And then we're going to have a additional grab handle there. But what we can do is just select those and that group that back up. That's that door. But this one I need to change to something else. What I need to do is to ungroup it. I need to lose the door handle, and I need to lose the labelling there, and I need, on the wireframe, I need to, that's not the correct one, that's the correct one there. I need to select, I've got all those faces selected, so that's handy. Definitely on the outside. Let's have a look. And I should have on my texture there, there's the correct one that it should be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up this and I'm going to move that along. That's not a bad move. Quick. Centre it up there, and we should be, yeah, that should be right now. And then what I'm going to do is pick up those bits and group them. Group, okay, and I shall Then there's the other pair of, maybe that's the guard. No, that's the compartment there. That's odd. Compartment. Let's have a quick look at this. Where are we? Change projects, models, GWR Stanley gauge carriages. I'll go down to plans, and it's D12. Let's have a quick look. Don't up near that. Open with. That's the guard door there. Oh, I see, that's an internal lavatory, so there's just 1, 2, 3 and a lavatory there. So that shouldn't say guard. It should say guard there. So what I'm going to do is just, I'll leave that one for the moment. I'm going to ungroup this, and I'm going to change that to guard, and then I'm going to pick up those, group them. The reason why I keep ungrouping and grouping is just because I'm working on one particular door, and I don't want to have a problem with I can see that everything else is in groups, and it's just this particular door which is ungrouped. So if I pick up all the individual one here, the luggage. If I pick up all the individual meshes, then it means I've got just the door. All those meshes that make up the door, which is the handle, the glass, the luggage lettering. There it is. Yes, the luggage, the glass, the door itself, the handle, and the teak interior, and the label or the classification. So there we are. There's the luggage and the other door. So in fact what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually delete those 2 copies, and I'm going to pick those 2 up. I'm going to clone them, and then I'm going to move those clones over to here, because we've got a long luggage compartment. Just go into wireframe and zoom in. Let's just get these in position. There we are. So that's those doors done. So we've got the guard with the ducket here and the other bits and pieces, and that's the whole of that side done. So I'm going to group the whole thing again together. So it's groups of groups, unhide everything, and now I shall do the same with the other side. And just what all I need to do really is to do the old business with the cloning. So I'm just going to take a copy of that. Okay, and ungroup it, take out that group, and I've got those doors over the other side, one of those over the other side, and that. Oops, no. Undo. I want to keep the guards one, and I'll keep one pair of those, and I'll rotate the guards one in the Z axis and move it round 180, and then this one 180, and this one 180, and then I'm going to ungroup that one, and make sure that it's ungroup do the same. Just when you rotate it like that, the world alignment changes. Doesn't always matter, but well, I like to keep things, if I can keep things tidy, I like to do it. So now we've got that door, that side, and these. And we're going to put them together. So we'll hide everything else, and we'll have a go at moving this over to here. I don't know if it'll work or not, but it'll give us a approximate position. And we can jump up to here, side view, to make sure the doors are all in the correct place, which they're not. And so that's the side there, so we know that's alright. That's what we're, so we'll take this one and we're going to move it over. This one. Move it over, and in fact there were two there, so save yourself a moment there. And there we are in position, and those should be okay. Quick look here. Yeah, it's just that position that we've got to adjust. So we come down into the side view, and I want to turn that to the left view so that it's the reason why these are offset is because the center line, the center position, is not necessarily the center as far as the side is concerned, so therefore you do get this sort of offsetting at times, so you just got to adjust that. But once it's done, it's done. Then we can pick up both of these and clone them. So these are our luggage. I just realised I've got something wrong here, of course, because what I need to do is to move this door to here and this door to here, because it's the left hand door which has the luggage sign on it. And we'll do the same here. Move that one over, and then this one into place. And then we've got the guard's door, there it is, labelled guard, and we've got the compartment door, 1, 2, and then this one. Okay, so let's have a look at that. That looks alright. I think we're all there now. Nothing back to front. Can happen. I've done it. And although you're not getting the full lettering there, it will come out okay. The position is okay. Right, there we are. So we have some doors in. Very good. Let's put some glass in the windows at the side. So the grouped side, I'm going to ungroup it, and go back here. Let's have a look and jump up to here for a moment. Just get that away, though I will need it. And I'm going to make a box. I prefer making the windows like this. It's a glass box. I can only do a single window at a time, and I'm going to make it an inch in size, 2 for 8, just to tidy it a little bit. I prefer to set it to full inches if at all possible. It doesn't really matter because it's going to be buried into the there it is. So it's going to be buried into the side, the mesh, side mesh. There we are, there it is. So I did need that. So we go up there and we call it glass. There we are. We'll reset that for the glass, and I'm going to convert that into a poly, and going to jump up here and delete some polys. I don't need the edges, so I just need a pane of glass. Got rid of those. So what we're left with is an inch gap there. I'm just going to centre it up, and a single directional mesh here looking out that way, and a single dimensional mesh looking out that way. I've tried this with setting it up with meshes that are using a texture which does both sides, but it really gets complicated. I just prefer, I mean, for the sake of spending one poly, I'm quite happy to go with that. Let's have a look. Yeah. A bit concerned about the door, actually. Let's just make sure we've got all the side grouped back up. Okay, let's ungroup that door. Group. No, it's only one pane of glass. That's funny, isn't it? Or is it? No, it's not, is it? It doesn't look right. It does look right, yeah. So let's undelete that. Is that glass? Why should that look different to that? Very strange. Let's have a look at it. Let's call it something else for a minute. Give it frames. Delete it at the moment. Oops. Doesn't really want to be that big, does it? And then bring it forward. This looks a bit different, that's all. Goodness knows why. Anyway, there we are. So if we go back, get rid of that. It's not going to be got rid of. So let's just make sure it's relatively poly. Take out the unnecessary polygons. So these are the edges I'm taking out. And let's center it. And toward. And push it back. Oh well, so that plus those equals 1, 2, 3 boxes. Yeah, that's correct. So select all of those, and now we'll ungroup this, and I'm just going to glaze the rest of the windows along the side there. So we'll pick up the first pane. Now I can't extend that glass along all three because the middle one is a lavatory, and I don't go for clear glass windows in the lavatory. It's up to you. But this one here, because it's going to be across two windows, you can actually just extend the glass, as it were, through the mesh. There we are. And so that saves you another a little bit, and then we just take this one back a bit, because this is going to be another, there's a lavatory here, so I'm going to take that along. Okay, and I'm not going to worry about this one because that's where the guard actually looks out. So that's a lavatory window there, so let's try and keep that. And so what I'm going to do is use my standard frames, which is a very small little texture which I use in virtually all of my models. Yeah, that one looks more like a lavatory window, doesn't it? And then this one, I'll do the same. Oops, wrong one. That one. Shrink it down. And that's our side glazed out. And looks okay. So now I'll pick up all of those and group them. Now repeat the process on the other side. I know this seems quite laborious, but this is the way you do it, or at least it's the way that I do it. So let's take the other side now. This has already got our doors in, we put the doors in. So look at those. Yeah, see the glazing is, I think it must be an effect of the Gmax. Doesn't look like that in train. No, we've got we've got everything in there included. So we've got the doors in here. So we just ungroup that, leaves the doors which are grouped, and then we do the same with the glazing. Okay, and let's just see where that is. There it is. So I'm going to reduce that to poly straight away, and I'm going to delete the unnecessary polys I don't need, which are the edge polys. And glaze it, so you apply the glass texture and wrap. I think I might have to adjust this glass texture because these, I've noticed that Tane, even TS12 I think, doesn't accept TGA files which are a uniform colour. Goodness knows why. I'm sure there's some clever reason, but I've never bothered to find out, and frankly, as long as it works, I don't mind. If I have to do it, I have to do it. Right, now we're just going to clone up those windows. And we do these like this. That's glass. That's for the blue. So I've got to retexture that, and that's glass compartment, and that's glass, and then that's glass, and that's a blue. Okay, and this one I'm just going to alter those vertices because it can go across to 2 there. Okay. So there we are, and let's bring this up and just change that's the compartment, that's a loo, lavatory. Scrunch it down in the opaque light colour, and that's the other lavatory. And reduce reduce it down, scale it down again. Pop it in there, there we are. So there's our side so far, and pick it all up and group it, and then pick everything up and group it. Okay, and then we can unhide everything, and we'll hide the attachment points because I've got to come back and alter those at some stage. And now let's make sure we save as D12. And then because I'm going to move over to version 2, I'm going to take that out. No, I shouldn't have done that. It's too early to move over to version 2. At least I can take that out. That's my mesh. Yes, I would move this over to version 2 now. Version 2.1. So that means my version 1 still has the mesh there, and this copy doesn't. Because so it just gives me a bit of insurance if I need to go back. I'm just going to bang out the clerestory piece. Let's have a look there. Should be pretty straightforward. Yeah. So just as with the side piece for the carriage, clerestory sides are pretty straightforward. We just make a rectangle, which has to be 56 feet. 56 feet by 1 foot. That gives me that, and let's just center it. Center that and position it here, and position it over our guide. So perhaps Y position, yeah, that's okay. Let's give it a nice dark colour, and then we're going to come in with another rectangle. Here we go. Again, I'm just doing it by eye. 575 is what I normally do. And let's give that a nice dark colour as well, a different one. Okay, and then we're going to clone it up. If I were to increase the corners on this. Yeah, I think 2.362. I've noticed that the drawings that I'm working from vary quite a bit. So it's sort of like best guess. Let's take that over to there. I think these are all pretty much uniform size. And you do get a bit of variation. There we go. And one more. And then we've got all of the, yeah, that's all clear because it's the luggage section. And if we have a look here, so I'll just come in and pick up the plan and move it away, and then I can come in and very simply make that into an editable spline and make one of those. I'm not sure if it's necessary because what I'm going to do is attach them, and whatever they attach to, they take on that, and then just extrude it 2 inches, and we've got our, that's our clerestory mesh. So I'm just going to take that up, copy that out the way, and I can delete that, and then I just clerestory side. There we are. But it's not quite done yet. looks like it's going to be okay. So preset, but of course what I want to do is to get all the other space. I only want the outer side to be have that texture face on it. The rest just needs to be this dark colour. So now I'm going to select this face, and you see it's jumping up like that. That means that what I need to do here, and I've made sure I've got a copy, always make sure you do that. I'm going to collapse all of this down to a poly and reset the X form, and just collapse it down again, bring in the unwrap, and now when we do that it's correct, it's not up at an angle. And now, having selected that face, I'm just going to planar it and reverse it, bring it along, and zoom right in, make sure we get the right position. There we go, that should be it. Yeah, that looks okay. And it should be just that dark colour all the way around everywhere else. Yes, good. So now I'm going to collapse that down. This one I'm then going to bring a clone down of this and texture it. And it's the wrong way round. It looks nice, but it's the wrong way round, wrong side. So again, first thing to do, that gives you a quick check that the texture is going to look okay. First thing to do is to reduce this right down and take it down there. There we are. And we'll probably get that same effect. You'll see again what I mean about the face. If I select this face, yeah, there we are, look. That is, if I was just to select that, I'll show you. If I planar that, there, look, it's that angle. It's all over the place, so that's no good. So what I have to do is collapse it down to a poly, and then reset. Basically reset the orientation of the whole piece, and then if I select the face, there we are, and if I edit and planar it, it's back to what it should be. And because it's correct on that side, I don't need to worry about it. Okay, so let's save that, and also let's save it as 2.2. And here what I need to do is to drop these two down, down near our model. And I suppose I should have left the other sides in, but the previous sides in, because what's there at the moment, that green is the glass, long strip of glass. And this last one here, let's center those, and I'm going to bring this one over and down, and I'm going to bring it across to this edge here, and I think I'm right on that position there. That's the roof curve. Let's have a quick look down here. I'm not worried that I'm also holding this one, but that looks okay. Yeah, that looks okay. So now I'll just do the same with the other one. In fact, what I'm going to do with this one up above here is I'm going to this is at what distance? Well, that's at the correct distance, so I shall just take the 0 out. That will move it across to the other side, and then I shall line it up to this one. Z, no, Y. There we are. So there's our two clerestory sides put in. It's pretty quick and easy to do. What else is there to do? Lots and lots of other things to do. I've got that spare mesh there, which I'm just going to leave for the moment. But let's just do the roof. And normally what I do here is I bring the, if that's 56, that's going to be 56 feet to there. So that's 28 feet plus 28 feet minus. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust the roof so that it is, so it hangs an inch over there, and over at this end, see it's already got the extra inch down here from the 40 footer that it was, and do the same up the top here. I'm not too worried about the lamps yet. 28 and 28. Yeah. And now if we have a look at our carriage, you can see that we're now really beginning to look like it should. And so that's the end of part 3. The jobs to do is the underframe, the ends, of course, the guards, ducket, other bits and pieces, but that will be in part 4. So that gives you an idea of how things are going with D12 brake third version 2. That is my version 2. It's not actually a version 2 of the finished model. It's just simply my way of making sure as you can see, I even go up to version 3 or some 2.1. There it is. Save. Okay, so there we are. So that's the end of the third part. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you've got any questions or comments, please post them. Please give me a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it, and please subscribe.